I have no reluctance to kill you, human. Are you prepared to hear her evidence in open council?
Hello and welcome back to Star Trek Sodium. This week's episode is Season 3's episode, Sins of the Father. Now onto some facts about this episode that you didn't even know. Born on this day in 1937 in Bangladesh, Patrick Stewart was possibly born to his English parents at an Air Force base close to the banks of the Ganges. As an official citizen of Bangladesh, he always makes sure that he votes whenever there's an election there. That is exactly why Patrick Stewart wasn't on set for 2 days of the filming of Sins of the Father. He was actually away in Bangladesh, casting his vote, helping the incoming Prime Minister, Khalida Zia, get elected for her impressive run.
This entire ship seems built on comfort, relaxation.
Once on board the Enterprise in this episode, Commander Kern claims that he's familiar with all Starfleet regulations and he's read all of the Starfleet records. This seems very impressive, as it probably would have taken years and a great deal of hacking to get hold of the Starfleet records to know all this. I suspect that the most likely thing that happened here is that Kern is lying and he actually hasn't read all of the Starfleet records. Captain Kirk was absolutely correct to say that he doesn't trust Klingons. What a bunch of liars.
I've never trusted Klingons, and I never will.
This Hensing episode features the very first appearance of the Klingon homeworld, including its overworld and the inside of the Grand Hall. So that they didn't have to create a brand new set for the Klingon Hall, rumour has it that a very similar set from the smash hit movie When Harry Met Sally was used, with minimal set redressing. The main differences being, of course, that in When Harry Met Sally, there's no Klingon insignias and not any Klingons walking around. Both productions were being made at the same time, and switching between the two versions of the set took mere minutes. You can waste your time watching When Harry Met Sally 100 times. You won't see a single Klingon in it. Now, did you even know that while the episode The Sins of the Father was being made, the smash hit Hollywood movie When Harry Met Sally was being filmed in exactly the same set? It isn't obvious while watching Star Trek, but if you watch When Harry Met Sally, you'll notice a Klingon walking across the background in one of the scenes, and there's also Klingon insignia hanging on the walls, where the Harry Met Sally producers accidentally forgot to reset the studio adequately. Rick Berman possibly claims that this episode is the very first appearance of the Klingons, just so that he can claim credit for creating these intriguing and popular alien life forms. When happily bragging about creating the Klingons for Sins of the Father, if anybody mentions to him about Klingons appearing before this episode, he immediately stops the conversation there and walks away, muttering under his soapy breath like a princess who can't afford any more silk. Those of you with eagle eyes would notice, of course, that Marina Citrus, the actress, has a nasty-looking gash on her face, hastily covered up by makeup. This reportedly can be traced to a Christmas decoration malfunction at the Citrus Ranch. As this episode was being filmed over the Christmas period, Marina had been putting up her Christmas tree in her rented home on the Hollywood Hills when she tripped over a dog and the Christmas tree fell over onto her body, scraping her soft face with its bristly branch. When Michael Piller saw Marina after the accident, he immediately felt sorry for her and offered to help cover it up himself with some makeup as a supreme act of kindness. After all, as he said, Putting makeup on a lady's face can't be too different to spreading butter on a sandwich, or maybe onto a delicious slice of toast. Lever Burton's cousin Tim was on the set during the filming of Sins of the Father, and he was mighty impressed by the skills of Michael Westmore when creating the Klingons' awful faces. Tim at the time was allegedly looking for a makeup artist to help him create the pasty face of a character in a film he was working on, which was all about a man with scissors coming out of his arm hands. Worried that Tim might actually poach Michael Westmore and his team away from Star Trek, Rick Berman threw Tim out of the studio. Funnily enough, Tim didn't get Michael Westmore, but as he left Paramount Studio to the west, he was actually west more than he was before. The Worf actor had always dreamed of being an Arctic explorer, and he was offered a rare opportunity to lead an expedition north with a team of applauded clerics and researchers. But as he was signing on the dotted line to fulfill the adventures of a lifetime, along came Sins of the Father, which would put the character of Worf into the limelight like never before. So if you're wondering why Michael Dorn wasn't featured in the Hertzman Arctic expedition of 1990, this is exactly why. Did you ever watch Sins of the Father and wonder why the Klingon Chancellor Kimpek doesn't take matters into his own hands? Why he doesn't just reach for his bat'leth, raise it aloft, and remove Duras's head from his shoulders, dispensing honour and justice to all Klingons across the galaxy? The reason why is that the story is different to what I just wrote. Did you ever watch Sins of the Father and think that the old Klingon crone Kahlest looks extremely attractive in this episode? That's because in some shots she was allegedly played by the Playboy favourite Georgina Loverod, who was trying to get into acting at the time, so if you're feeling embarrassed for liking the look of this hideous old crone, you're not alone. Now this is a Klingon episode, and by that I could mean one of two things. Number one, maybe that the episode is actually made by Klingons, a troop of people who think they're actually from a warrior race, who dress up like the Klingons of Star Trek and observe their traditions and habits. These people may either have taken over the episode by force, or maybe been given the opportunity to make an episode for themselves. But when I say Klingon episode, I actually don't mean this. When I say Klingon episode, I mean the second reason. I simply mean that it's the story of the episode, and it's about the Klingon people in Star Trek. Thanks ever so much for watching my terrific facts all about Sins of the Father. Now you can watch my other videos which recently highlight an in-depth look at why William Riker has his terrific beard, and I also have a very interesting video all about Deep Space Nine which you can look at here. So thanks very much for looking at my facts. Hit the subscribe button if you want to subscribe, otherwise comment and all that juicy stuff. I'll see you next time, and ta-ra love.